Okay, so at this point, I don't think there's anything that Donald Trump can do that would turn his supporters against him or make them not want to vote for him. I literally think that he can do absolutely every and anything and they will still vote for him. So please don't take this video as me trying to convince anybody not to vote for him. I'm just putting a spotlight on a situation that I think everybody needs to know about. A jury found Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse and awarded the accuser $5 million. Now, recently we saw where Diddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call him, head honcho of Bad Boy Records, music mogul, entrepreneur, businessman, billionaire, Puffy, went through similar situation with Cassie, and everybody turned against them, and Cassie was paid her money, a undisclosed sum of money, because their situation was settled behind the scenes without a court being involved. The news for Donald Trump went like this. A jury found Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll back in 1996 and awarded her $5 million in a judgment that could haunt the former president as he campaigns to regain the White House. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't think it's going to haunt him because his supporters don't care what he does. The verdict was split. The jurors rejected Carroll's claim that she was raped, but they found that Trump was responsible for a lesser degree of sexual abuse. The judgment adds to Trump's legal woes and offers vindication to Carroll, whose allegations have been mocked and dismissed by Trump over the years. She nodded as the verdict was announced in a New York City federal courtroom only 3 hours after the deliberation had begun, then hugged supporters and smiled through her tears. As the courtroom cleared out, Carroll could be heard laughing and crying at the same time. Jurors also found Donald Trump liable for defamation, defaming Carroll over her allegations. Trump did not attend the civil trial. He was absent when the verdict was read, but his attorney, of course, was present. Trump immediately lashed out on social media sites, claiming that he does not know Carroll, and he was referring to the verdict as a disgrace and a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all times, and he promises to appeal it. Now, Trump could have said anything other than he did not know this woman. Trump's lawyer, Joseph Tacopina, shook hands with Carroll and hugged Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, after the verdict was announced. And then outside the courthouse, Trump's lawyer told the reporters the jury's rejection of the rape claim while finding Trump responsible for sexual abuse was perplexing and strange. Of course, his attorney wanted him to be completely cleared of all charges. Part of me was obviously very happy that Donald Trump was not branded a rapist because he was not convicted by a jury, or they did not come back finding him to be a rapist. But they did find that he sexually abused this woman, and he pled to a lesser charge. So that's just him pleading to a lesser charge. That's not saying that he didn't do what he was accused by the victim of doing. His attorney defended him, Trump's attorney defended him in his absence and defended his absence, citing that the trial's circus atmosphere, he said having Trump here, that would be even more of a circus, which is understandable because it is Donald Trump and there would be a whole lot of media hoopla. But, I mean, he could have came to court. But, I mean, I'm no billionaire, so I can't speak like a billionaire. I'll let my lawyers handle it. I'll go play golf today. Tacopina, Donald Trump's lawyer, then said, "What more can you say other than I didn't do it?" In a written statement, Kaplan, who is the attorney for the person who accused Trump, said that the verdict proved that nobody is above the law, not even the President of the United States of America. Carol, in her own statement, said that she sued Trump. "I sued him to clear my name and to get my life back. Today, the world finally knows the truth." He pled to a lesser charge, right? But I accused him of rape. Now, this victory is not just for me, but it's for every woman who has suffered because she was not believed. It was unclear what, if any, implications the verdict would have on Trump's third presidential bid. He is in a commanding position among the GOP contenders and has faced few political consequences in the wake of previous controversies, ranging from the vulgar Access Hollywood tape to his New York criminal indictment. He is the guy for the GOP. His GOP rivals, they were mostly silent after the verdict, a sign of their reluctance to cross Trump supporters who are critical to winning the presidential nomination. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, one of the few vocal Trump critics in the race, said that the verdict was another example of the indefensible behavior of Donald Trump. In other words, this man is grotesque. He does whatever he wants to do, and that's how he operates. Carol was one of the more than a dozen women who have accused Trump of sexual assault or harassment. I'll say it again, because a lot of people are looking at Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs like he's the only one with these types of accusations. Carol was one of more than a dozen women who have accused Donald Trump of sexual assault or harassment. She went public back in 2019 in a memoir with her allegations that the Republican raped her in the dressing room of a posh Manhattan department store. Trump denied it, saying that he never encountered Carol at the store and he doesn't even know who she is. He has called her a nut job, crazy ass woman. She invented this fraudulent and false story to sell a book. Carol, who is 79 years old, sought unspecified damages plus a retraction of what she said were Trump's defamatory denials of her claim. She wanted him to take back his defamatory denials. You know me. Stop acting like you don't know me. The trial revisited the lightning rod topic of Trump's conduct towards women. Carol gave multiple days of frank, occasionally emotional testimony, buttressed by two friends who testified that she reported the attack to them soon after it happened. Jurors also heard from Jessica Leeds, a former stockbroker who testified that Trump abruptly groped her against her will on an airline flight in the 1970s, and from Natasha Stanoff, a writer who said that Trump forced himself on her and kissed her against her will while she was interviewing him for a 2005 article. The 6-man, 3-jury also saw the well-known 2005 Access Hollywood hot mic recording of Trump talking about kissing and grabbing women without asking for their permission. The Associated Press typically does not name people who say that they have been sexually assaulted unless they come forward publicly, as Carol, Leeds, and Stanoff have come forward publicly. The verdict comes as Trump faces an alerting swirl of legal risks. He's fighting a New York criminal case related to hush money payments that were made to a porn actor. The state attorney general has sued him, his family, and his businesses over alleged financial wrongdoing. By the way, he was found guilty in that case. Trump is also contending with investigations into his possible mishandling of classified documents, his actions after the 2020 election, and his activities during the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th of 2021. Trump denies wrongdoings in all of those matters. Trump denies wrongdoing in everything. Carol, who penned the LA Magazine Advice column for 27 years, had also written for magazines and Saturday Night Live, the show. She and Trump were in the same social circles that overlapped at a party in 1987 when a photo documented them and their then spouses interacting. Trump has said before he don't know this woman, but then he went on to say, I don't remember it. According to Carol, she ended up in a dressing room with Trump after they ran into each other at Berghoff Goodman on a unspecified Thursday evening in the spring of 1996. They took an impromptu jaunt to the lingerie department so he could search for a woman's gift, and soon were teasing each other about trying on a skimpy bodysuit, Carol testified. To her, it seemed like it was more comedy, something like her 1986 Saturday Night Live sketch in which a man admires himself in a mirror. But then, she said, Trump slammed the door shut, pinned her against the wall, planted his mouth on hers, yanked her tights down, and raped her as she tried to break away from him. Carol said that she ultimately pushed him off of her and immediately left the room. I always think back to why I walked in there to get myself in that situation in the first place, she testified with her voice shaking. But I am proud to say I did get out. I didn't stay in there with him. She never called the police or noted it in her diary. Carol said she kept silent for years. Trump would retaliate out of shame and because she worried that people would see her as somewhat responsible for being attacked. The jury awarded Carol $2 million for Trump's sexual abuse and $20,000 in punitive damages. For defamation, the jurors awarded her another $1 million for Trump's October statement and another $1.7 million for harm to Carol's reputation and another $280,000 in punitive damages. Trump's lawyer, Tacopina, told juror Carol invented her claims after hearing about a 2012 Law and Order episode in which a woman is raped in a dressing room of a lingerie section of a Bergdorf Goodman store. Carol cannot produce any objective evidence to back up her claim because it didn't happen, is what Trump's attorney said. He then accused her of advancing a false claim of rape for money and for political reasons and for status. In questioning Carol, he sought to cast doubt on her description of fighting off the far heavier Trump without dropping her handbag or ripping her tights, and without anyone around to hear or see them in the lingerie section. The lawyer pressed her about, by her own account, why didn't you scream? Looking for help while fleeing the store or seeking out medical attention, security videos, or police. Carol reproached him. Carol said, I'm telling you, he raped me. Whether I screamed or not, he raped me. There's no possibility of Trump being charged with attacking Carol, as the legal time limit for that has since passed. For similar reasons, she initially filed her civil case as a defamation lawsuit, saying that Trump's derogatory details had subjected her to hatred, shredded her reputation, and harmed her career. Then, starting last fall, New York State gave people a chance to sue over sexual assault allegations that would otherwise be too old. Carol was one of the first ones to file, which is the same thing that happened to P. Diddy, Puffy, and, of course, his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, filed as well. Now you know. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.